It's called Me Falta Mi Cuerpo. Anyone speak Spanish here? Okay. Hablo español. I traveled to Mexico to feel my body. To Holbox, to be precise, an island 2 hours north of the Yucatan Peninsula. The planes, taxis, boats, and go-karts needed to reach this part Mayan fishing village, part tourist town seemed excessive. But a friend suggested I visit, and Seattle's December gray days made me too desperate to search for a more convenient vacation. Ever since my spinal surgery, rain hit my skin like daggers. Any temperature below 74 degrees numbed my feet, my legs, my soul. Nerve disorders are crazy-making, and crazy kept me under my heated blanket alone at home. I needed to go somewhere where the sun would not apologize for being hot. So in turn, my body, both healed and damaged by surgery, would not need to apologize for always being so cold. I traveled to Mexico to feel my body. I dated David for 3.5 months. That half mattered a lot. That was 2 weeks longer than the last guy I dated. And 2 weeks closer to me believing this too sweet, too brief pandemic romance could survive in the real world. David ended our relationship when he moved to Los Angeles unceremoniously. By the time he returned for a work trip a few months later, I landed a book deal and an urgent respect for my time. Still, I agreed to dinner. We drank wine, shared plates, and held hands like nothing had changed. We returned to my apartment and sat on opposite ends of the couch like strangers until our bodies remembered their way back to each other. I spoke honestly about my hope for us, despite the distance. He said he cared for me and wanted time to think. He insisted he'd call me the following Saturday so we could talk, really talk about our relationship. David left, and I never saw or heard from him again. I traveled to Mexico to feel my body. It took a year to finish the first draft of my manuscript, and I hadn't dated anyone since David. Writing often made me forget I even had a body. Men often made me forget myself. David healed himself inside me and broke my heart. I wanted to find someone, somebody to learn whether such selfish, reckless regard could heal me too. I'm not even packing a bag, I said, laughing with a friend after I booked my flight. All I need is a little clutch for my passport and Plan B. I wanted to be naked with someone I did not care about, someone who did not care about me or my surgery or my neuropathy. I needed to be wanted in this body, the body I have, not the body I used to have or hope will have again. I wanted pleasure, not pain, connection without commitment or consequence. I wanted to feel like a person, not a patient. I traveled to Mexico to feel my body. I met Winston, a nurse's aide, on my first day of inpatient rehab. The transfer from the cancer center meant more autonomy and less surveillance. I'd spent the last 9 nights fighting my nurses and my injured body for the small freedom of taking a shower alone, to sit in the shower chair and feel water fall on my pained skin. My room was not mine, my walker was not mine, but I wanted to be in my room, ambling about with my walker, taking care of my body alone. But Winston insisted I needed help, and his familial Caribbean accent tempered my initial unease about his gender. Moreover, prolonged hospitalization desensitized me to clinical touch. I've been poked and prodded around the clock by a rotating cast of strangers whose badges and scrubs granted them assumed consent. So I thought nothing of it when Winston said it was best not to leave me too alone. It was just another day, another nurse, another simple task of caregiving when he walked my wet, naked form back to bed. I wasn't too concerned when he offered to massage lotion into my skin. Faced down, faced up, Winston massaged every numb and achy muscle. I just laid there while he looked at all of me, chatted with me casually, rubbed my body everywhere, all under the performance of medical care. This did not feel correct. It felt decisively incorrect, and I just laid there, still, silent, unsure, relieved, grateful. I said nothing, did nothing, because in those few moments, his touch was information. It was the first time, and not the last time, my curiosity about my body compromised my instinct to protect it. It was the first time someone's bare hands touched my injured body that way. Knowing whether, where, and how much I felt Winston's touch meant I could feel someone else's touch, a touch I wanted again. I traveled to Mexico to feel my body. My doctors prescribed physical therapy, occupational therapy, aqua therapy, and talk therapy to help get my mind and body back online. That's how I described myself, like the damn internet. Neuroplasticity, the process we call rewiring the brain, is how I relearned at 32 years old how to walk, climb stairs, write my name. It meant trying and trying, failing and failing again and again until my brain's neurons found new pathways to connect intent to action, to ensure what I wanted to do, to feel, got done, was felt. I spent 3 weeks in the hospital discussing the mechanics of my body with very capable, very knowledgeable clinicians. We talked about touch, but not one person mentioned pleasure. I kicked my family out the exam room for a moment alone to ask Dr. Rupert about the literal ins and outs of having sex with a spinal cord injury. You need visual cues to retrain your body for arousal, she said, advising sex on top of the sheets, lights on, looking at everything, every part. Can you feel urine exit your body? Dr. Rupert asked in her doctorly, matter-of-fact kind of way. Yes, I replied, unsure, because who even notices anything like that? Great, she said. If you can feel something coming out, you can feel something coming in. Get it? Dr. Rupert's nonchalance emboldened me to talk to my recreational therapist, Jason, during a game of Wii tennis. I gave Jason more details about my sex life than he probably needed or wanted. Between sets, Jason talked to me through different intimacy aids like sex swings, sex pillows, and toy mounts, but said they'd probably be more recreational. My spinal cord injury wasn't advanced enough to require adaptive equipment. Honestly, Jason said with a look of worry that he couldn't offer anything more helpful. I think you just need strong communication, which, to be real with you, that is what makes sex good for anyone. Pleasure requires practice, especially after your body changes in unexpected and inconvenient ways. So I practiced and practiced. I gave each new lover a brief orientation, and excitedly they mapped my body for themselves. We played these little sensory games. Nicholas, my first boyfriend after surgery, would lay me down like a game of Operation. With each kiss and caress, Nicholas delighted to see where, how, and how much my body responded to his touch. David made these games his own. To this very day, I still think about one night we shared at a fancy hotel, sipping wine in a private jacuzzi. It was hot. Like real hot, like temperature hot, but but also like sexy time hot, you know? I felt everything everywhere. The jets tickled my skin, my legs entangled completely with David's 6'4" frame. David already knew that I could lose track of my body in space, unsure of what was touching me if too many things were touching me at the same time. A sensory overload. We turned off the jets and gazed at each other for a few moments before David asked me to close my eyes. Quiet and cool, David tiptoed his fingers all over me, tenderly kissed each one of my toes. "Can you feel me here?" David asked softly. "Or here? How about here? Can you feel me?" "Yes, David," I whispered. "Yes, yes, yes, I can feel you." I traveled to Mexico to feel my body because I was tired of talking. Tired of talking, thinking, worrying, caring, waiting to not feel invisible. I wanted my body to be seen, to be desired for no other reason than the fact that it exists. I put on my favorite bikini and barely covered my ass in some denim booty shorts. I packed specifically for this mission. I walked down Hobox's main drag looking for breakfast, looking for a good spot on the beach, looking for a boyfriend for the day. That's how I met CJ, who'd been parked in his go-kart taxi outside the restaurant. His eyes scanned across and through my curves, and I returned his gaze in kind. We exchanged numbers and spent the whole day texting each other promises we intended to keep. CJ called me the next morning and asked to meet him off the island. He wanted to take me swimming in a nearby cenote, over an hour, no cell phone service drive away from town. Child. I had no clue what a cenote was. But he gushed about these ancient natural limestone sinkholes, some in underground caves we take a series of steep ladders to get to. He laughed at how refreshingly frigid the water was and told stories about its power as a spiritual portal in Mayan rituals. It would be an adventure, CJ said. He did not know that this new body of mine didn't have adventures anymore, only pain, plans to mitigate pain, and pain nonetheless. But I traveled here not to talk or think, just do and feel. I packed a day bag and left my hotel. The reality of this random crazy plan set in on the boat ride over to meet CJ. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't even know this man. I don't even know his name, CJ. Like, I don't even know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing, what we're really doing. Nobody who knows me knows I am here. This was not my first time wandering off on some adventure with a stranger in a foreign country, but it was my first time since surgery. Was my quest for information, my desires to be reckless, putting my body more at risk. I frantically texted my friend France, Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, 9:20 a.m. I'm about to go on an adventure with some dude named CJ. If you don't hear from me, if you don't hear back from me in 10 hours, I got trafficked, LOL. Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, 9:47 a.m. You better brush up on your survival Spanish. Ayúdame. Help me. Soy de los Estados Unidos. I'm from the United States. But I could not recall any Spanish that could get me close to words like kidnapped or trafficked or missing. Missing. Me falta. Me falta means I miss. It's not the right kind of missing. Faltar means to lack. It's not the right kind of missing. Faltar means to lack, to not attend to be absent, to miss. Conjugated me falta means I am missing something. It does not mean I am missing. Me falta mi cuerpo, I decided was my best option. It's not like real Spanish, but perhaps it could get me close. Me falta mi cuerpo, I am missing my body. I jumped in CJ's car, and in the spirit of not talking, I listened. I learned CJ was born in Atlanta and had been living in Mexico for the last 10 years. He grew up poor, extremely so. His undocumented mother fell behind in rent, which led to threats of deportation. A neighbor, some white guy, offered to marry CJ's mother to keep her and her children in the United States. This was not a kindness. The neighbor pulled his mother into a life of crack addiction and coerced sex work. CJ and his brothers were put in foster care. One of his guardians made a point to bring them to church every single Sunday. You know, that year, me and my brothers got kicked out like 5 times, said CJ. But like kicked out from where? School? I asked, wondering whether I lost part of the story. Not school, church. CJ told me that he had, at best, a 7th grade education. He dropped out of school to sell drugs and then was arrested at 16 years old after he sold weed to an undercover cop. Before prison, in prison, and now decades later, CJ had pretty much the same job. I'm in sales, he told me. Whatever it is, I sell it. Drugs, hoes, selling tours to tourists, whatever. But like, don't traffic me, okay? I laughed, but I was like not joking. I glanced down at my phone. CJ was right. There is no cell service. But are you sure you need both your kidneys? CJ said and kept driving. But how would you say I was kidnapped, I asked. The best thing I came up with was me falta or me falta mi cuerpo. CJ could not stop laughing, mocking me. Policía, ayúdame, me falta, me falta. We laughed so hard tears swelled across my eyes. You would say, estoy secuestrada. Not me falta, CJ said. But we had joked about me falta so many times, I had forgotten the correct phrase as soon as he said it. So much for survival. CJ and I made several stops along the way. We bought water, enchiladas, and fruit. We stopped by some lady's house who sold roasted chicken and rice and beans stuffed in a plastic sandwich bag. At the cenote, we ate lunch at a picnic table, laughed, made out, shared a shower for our pre-swim rinse-off. We started down the ladder deep, deep below the earth's surface. Each step, I felt nothing but my own heart beating, scared I'd miss the next rung beneath my numbed feet. CJ jumped in the cenote first, and I stood there, frozen, in every sense of the word. I was entranced by this glorious underworld, this too blue water, the tens, hundreds of tree roots cascading from the open earth above us, searching for its warm core down below. I took a breath, soaking in how much I missed this. I miss adventures. I miss trying anything once or twice. I miss not having to pack for every possible situation that might make my body uncomfortable. I miss boundaries. I miss knowing a good and bad touch. I miss a man's caress meaning more to me than information. I miss no's that end in a period instead of no's that sound like a question or no's that make no sound at all. I miss my clothes, although they're still hanging in the closet waiting for my body's return. I miss liking myself in pictures. I miss cute shoes. I miss hard workouts. I miss walking barefoot. I miss the sweetness of summer rain. I miss feeling uncomfortable on purpose. I miss body aches that did not scare me about getting cancer again. I miss waking up, walking, sitting, running, dancing, thinking, breathing without pain. I miss having meaningless sex with someone just because. I miss not knowing that a body, both whole and alive, can be missed. I thought back to something I read in Miriam Gerber's memoir about knowing when a trauma patient had recovered. The survivor's ability to exercise spontaneity, she explained. Spontaneity happens when avoiding death or injury stops becoming a survivor's primary concern. Spontaneity happens when one is able to dwell in a moment for its own sake. This is the moment I still look back on, not the hours later when I think maybe perhaps CJ and I actually had sex. It was not good, okay? Nothing longer than a few moments, nothing titillating, nothing interesting. Our time together was so unremarkable, I questioned whether it even happened. Sorry. Settle down. You know what Hobox means, right? CJ would say aloud on our drive back to his house, seemingly to himself. I feel like I'm in a black hole sometimes. That's what it means, black hole. I want to leave, but for some reason, I just can't. I knew exactly what he meant. I've been stuck in my own black hole for years, avoiding my own body, afraid to trust the words a kind nurse prayed over me while I cried in my hospital bed. The body wants to heal. I've been too dejected to realize all the ways my body has healed since, too stubborn to forgive my body for the ways it has not. Standing at the water's edge, I held my shoulders, hugging my chest on 3. 1, 2. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and jumped, baptizing my whole body in the holiness of self-desire. This body of mine, this body I had been missing, had been with me all along.